Dear learners, welcome you all to e-learning platform. This is Faisal Ahmed with you throughout this lesson. Now we are in week 4. In this week you will learn the synopsis or summary of the Duchess of Malfi by John Webster. From Act 3 to Act 5. In the previous week you learned it from Act 1 to Act 2. So in this week we will learn from Act 3 to Act 5. So let's begin. Act 3. Delio returns to Rome with Ferdinand. When the people believes that the Duchess is a whore with 3 illegitimate children, Ferdinand gets furious and the Duchess reveals her secret husband's name, Antonio. Ferdinand stops the bills of Antonio, the steward of the palace. Duchess and Antonio plans to flee to Ancona with her treasures. The Duchess takes Bosola to her confidence, believes her, and Bosola gets to know their plan. Bosola is working as a spy on behalf of Ferdinand to reveal the secret marriage of Antonio and the Duchess. So Bosola reveals the secret to Cardinal, the brother of Ferdinand. Cardinal orders the captivation of the Duchess and her family. Though Antonio with their eldest son managed to flee, Bosola captivated Duchess, her maid and 2 children. Act 4. Ferdinand and Daniel de Bosola discuss how the Duchess is bearing the hardship of imprisonment. Ferdinand tries to make Duchess mad by showing the hand and figures of wax corpses of Antonio and her children, believing hard that they are dead. So in Act 3 you will find that the Bosola reveals the secret of the Duchess's marriage with Antonio. So the Duchess is captivated with her children, though Antonio fled to Ancona. So in this Act 4 you will find the Duchess and her children are being tortured in the prison cell by the Ferdinand and his people. So Ferdinand tries to make Duchess mad by showing the hand and figures of wax corpses of Antonio and her children, believing hard that they are dead. So here Ferdinand made a plan and made the fake body with wax, body of Antonio and the children of Antonio and the Duchess. And by this fake dead body, in the darkness of night, Ferdinand tries to make the Duchess mad by showing the hand and figures of those dead bodies of her husband and children. Those have been made by wax. Executioners enter the scene carrying a coffin, cords used for strangulation, and a bell. Courageous to the end, the Duchess meets her death with dignity and resignation. Soon after she is strangled, the executioners dispatch Cariola and the Duchess's children. Bosola, strung and humiliated by Ferdinand's ingratitude and cruelty, becomes steadily more repentant of his deeds. After Ferdinand departs, the Duchess revives momentarily, just long enough for Bosola to assure her that Antonio de Bosola still lives and that the display of wax figures was a carol. was carried. Act 5. This scene takes place in the front built on the ruins of an ancient abbey, close to the spot where the Duchess of Malfi is buried. Act 5. After the brothers argue of cruelty and murder in Act 4, these scenes present the first sign that the fortunes of Ferdinand the Cardinal are beginning to wane. Fittingly, the savage British Ferdinand has contracted lycanthropy, a disease that has him believing he is a wolf. It's a kind of madness. So this is the karma, okay? So Ferdinand tortured Duchess and then ordered his sentence by strangling, and by the karma, now he has become mad and has got a disease called lycanthropy, a disease that has him believing he is a wolf. Buzula knows the truth about the Duchess's death. From this point on, in fact, Buzula and the Cardinal are portrayed unequivocally as lethal adversaries. Meanwhile, the Cardinal's corruption and profanity are highlighted once more in his murder of his mistress, Julia, whom he kills with a poisoned Bible. Buzula overhears the Cardinal's plans and witnesses the ravings of Ferdinand, who seems also to be plotting Buzula's murder. In the darkness, Antonio enters, and Buzula, thinking him to be the Cardinal, delivers a fatal sword thrust. So throughout this accident, Antonio died. After Antonio's death, Buzula vows to avenge himself by killing the Cardinal. So in this scene, Act 5, we will find Buzula as a repentant for his previous sins, vices and follies and mistakes. So now he is trying to removing his sin by doing some good acts, which is revenge, and that's why the Duchess of Malfi is called the revenge tragedy. Though Buzula is an ordinary character, but a transformation occurs in his character, that from bad character he turns into a good one. He takes revenge against Ferdinand and Cardinal, who used him to murder Antonio and the innocent Duchess. So let's go to the next analysis. Act 5 continues. Buzula kills a servant and then stabs the Cardinal twice. Ferdinand enters in a fit of insanity. He also stabs the Cardinal and then gives Buzula a lethal wound. Buzula kills Ferdinand, who dies exclaiming, "My sister, oh my sister." So Act 5 is the last act of this drama. So in this act we will find the brother Ferdinand also repentant, alas, before his death, by exclaiming, "My sister, oh my sister." So though he tortured the Duchess and murdered her, but still he is a brother. He murdered and tortured her sister Duchess due to his dignity, family status, royal blood, arrogance, and also patriotic society. But at the end, nature brings the justice. Karma takes its rule. So that thing we found in the character of Cardinal Ferdinand and Buzula. They did injustice towards the innocent Antonio and the innocent Duchess, and their innocent love and marriage as well. So let's go to the analysis. Before analysis, we will mention some explanations and quotes. Okay, man stands amazed to see his deformity in any other creature but himself. Man stands amazed to see his deformity in any other creature but himself. This quote is quoted by Daniel de Bozola in Act 2, Scene 1. So that means the cynical Daniel de Bozola touches on the theme of physical corruption by mentioning deformity. Human beings, he says, are curiously sensitive to the ugliness that nature may occasionally produce in non-human creatures, but insensitive to their own ugliness and vulnerability to lies and wounds. Another explanation, cover her face, mine eyes dazzle, she died young. This is quoted by Ferdinand in Act 4, Scene 2. Cover her face, mine eyes dazzle, she died young. That means he is shocked at the death of the Duchess, though he himself is the mother of the Duchess. I'm talking about Ferdinand. Ferdinand's disjointed exclamations as he gazes at the dead body of his twin sister. Twin sister means Ferdinand and Duchess, a twin, brother and sister. So twin sister foreshadow his total loss of insanity. In Act 5, he falls victim to lycanthropy, believing himself to be Wolf, a creature he has repeatedly maligned as savage. Major themes. Now we will discuss about the major themes in the Duchess of Malfi. The major themes are corruption, abuse of power, status of women, and responsibility for the tragedy, cruelty, class discrimination, objectification, heroism, and meta-theatre. Status of women and responsibility for the tragedy. The central conflict of the play involves the Duchess's desire to marry for love and her brother's desire to prevent her from remarrying, either to inherit her estate and control her choices, or perhaps out of Ferdinand's potentially incestuous love for his sister. Meta-theatre. As in a number of plays of the period, for example Shakespeare's Hamlet and Vengeance and Balbany, the Duchess of Malfi contains prominent references to the theatre and to acting. These meta-theatrical elements remind audiences they are watching a play that has been written, staged, and acted to provoke their curiosity, admiration, and thought. Symbol, wolf. In a play full of animal imagery, the wolf is the perfect symbol of bestiality and savagery. Nocturnal and predatory, wolves are associated with hostility and violence. It is altogether fitting, therefore, for Ferdinand, the drama's most animalistic character by nature, to lapse toward the end of the play into lycanthropy. Lycanthropy is a mental illness or mental disease that makes him believe he is often transformed into a wolf, like Wolfman that we have watched in the superhero movies. Okay, so in this drama, Ferdinand is not a superhero, rather he has got a mental disease that always in his mind he thinks himself as wolf. Symbol, darkness. Another symbol, darkness. Darkness is so prominent in the Duchess of Malfi that we found in Act 4. Okay, or in the darkness in the prison cell, Ferdinand and his people tortured his sister, the Duchess. Okay, so darkness is so prominent in the Duchess of Malfi, both in the imagery of the dialogue and in the stage effects, that it transcends merely temporal, earthly, or chronological status and assumes symbolic meaning. Darkness symbolizes crime, evil, madness, ignorance, and diabolical or devilish forces. So that's the end of week 4 lesson. Thank you very much.